This is how I made the gingerbread man that is on top of this giant gingerbread, a cupcake. If you want to see how I made the entire cupcake, you can go to facebook.com/glamcandyboutique. So you're just going to make a ball out of air dry foam clay. And so I'm just shaping it into a ball. I have a little piece of styrofoam in there. You could use a styrofoam ball, a piece of scrap styrofoam, doesn't really matter. I use that just for stability because sometimes clay wants to collapse in on itself. So you just make a ball. And sometimes I spritz my air dry clay just to keep it moist and to help work out any cracks if it won't smooth out. So next I'm just going to add a dowel into it while it's still wet. And the reason I shape my ball first is to get most of the shape there. But then I add the dowel and then I just touch up the shape as needed. But this is just the way that I like to do it. Of course, you can do it any way that you want. So you can see my little styrofoam bear there. It was just defective, so I decided to just use that as my center to stabilize. And you're just gonna make like a potato shape. It's literally just a potato. That's all that sculpting is. It's not intimidating because it's just simple shapes. You just break it down as if, have you ever seen those artist tutorials where they show you how to draw things and it's always breaking things down into a simple shape? So then I added another dowel to that so that I could just let it dry. And now I'm just shaping an arm. So an arm is just a longer, skinnier potato shape. So before I attach the arms, I do size compare them just to make sure they're about the same size before I attach. And the clay is still wet, so I'm not using glue, and you can just bend them around however you want. But I like a very chunky kind of gingerbread man, so my arms and legs tend to be a little bit chunky. So now I'm going to go ahead and make his little hat. So I'm just taking some white air dry foam clay, and then I'm just going to shape it in kind of a round flat ball, almost like a cookie. And then I'm just taking the back end of a paintbrush and I'm just pushing it into the sides of the hat. It could be any tool. You don't need a special tool. You see, that's so cute, right? And I'm going to go back through and make those deeper because air dry foam clay does tend to poof out as it dries. So now I'm just making the base of the hat. And so I'm just making another smaller kind of oblong shape, like a cylinder. And then I'm just going to attach it to the bottom. So it kind of looks like almost like a mushroom, doesn't it? So I thought that the base was a little bit too high, so I just went ahead and sliced it off with scissors, and then I'll just squeeze it and touch it up a little. So now I'm just checking the scale of the hat and seeing how it looks, and I wanted to kind of put it at a side angle. I thought that would be cute. The hat is not finished. I'm going to do a little band around the bottom and stuff like that, but this is, I think, coming out cute. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the eyes. You could paint the eyes on. You could use little tiny buttons. You could use the resin eyes. I am just using some eyes that I bought, I think on Etsy or Amazon. It was like a bunch of animal eyes and noses. They're almost like stuffed animal eyes. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm just using a little bit of super glue there, the Gorilla Glue with the blue top. And I will list that in the description. And now I'm just taking some red air dry foam clay and I'm just making a little kind of oval nose. Now, usually I would add the smile when the clay is wet, but I had to leave. I had a little emergency with my daughter, so I had to leave. So the clay is drier than I'd like when I'm making this. It will turn out much better if you do it while the clay is still wet. But I'm just using a Q-tip to put some dimples, and then I'm just going to draw in the smile with the sharp end of the Q-tip. I just cut off one of the little soft ends so that I can almost use it like a pencil, but I'm just kind of sculpting in that smile. So I know these eyes are shiny already, but I wanted to add my own eye highlights. So I'm just using that Q-tip again, and I dipped it in acrylic paint, and I'm just adding 2 little dots. Now those are some pastel chalks, and I'm just taking a pipe cleaner, and then I'm just applying a little bit of blush with that. To me, this kind of looks like a turkey. I just wanted to say that. But anyway, I'm just adding some more Gorilla Glue, and then I'm going to add some buttons to the tummy. The buttons are just little mints from one of my sprinkle mixes. It's called Peppermint Gingie, and so I just added those as buttons. Now I'm making the legs. They're just slightly thicker than the arms. It's almost like, again, a potato shape, just a little bit longer because they are the legs. And I want him to kind of be sitting on his legs and butt. So since these are about the same size, I decided to go ahead and add them. And I kind of pressed a little foot into there and kind of bent it upward and made it flat on the bottom. So now I'm going to attach the head. It has had a little bit of time to dry, so it's not super squishy anymore. And I think that that is good advice, and that's just the way that I do it. I am adding a dowel into the neck just to poke the hole where the head is going to go. And then I decided that the neck, shoulders area was a little bit too tall. So I went ahead and sliced some of that off, and everything can be repaired. Plus I'm putting on a little scarf later, so don't worry about any flaws there. Since that clay that I just trimmed is wet, I'm just adding the head directly to it. You can add the Gorilla Glue right here if you wanted. So now I'm just making some little hearts as accents. I want to put some hearts on the bottom of his feet and also one on the chef hat. So now I'm just adding some Gorilla Glue around his neck because I'm going to apply the scarf. All the scarf is some checked ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm just wrapping it around the neck. Then I just made a tiny bow out of this same ribbon, and I'm just attaching that with some more glue. Next, I just took the air dry foam clay. I made a very skinny worm, and then I'm just going over his hands and feet so that I do the little, it looks like piped icing that you often see on a gingerbread man. So this is my completed gingerbread man, and then what I did was I participated in a Christmas in July event live on Facebook, and you can go watch that over there. It's Glam Candy Boutique is my page. This is what I ended up doing with him. I put him on a giant cupcake, which if you watch that live, you'll learn how to make the giant cupcake as well. So I'm just adding some finishing touches. I wanted to add some little gingerbread man cabochons. For me, it's always all about the little details. I think they make such a huge difference. And then I wanted to add a little lollipop. I got that at Hobby Lobby. You can find them at Christmas time. And then I just added some puffy paint to the top of the lollipop because I just thought it would be fun. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, ask questions. I always appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.